What up, fam? It's the Country CEO back in the house again, man. Y'all see me, don't you? Getting a little workout in this morning. I'm running a little late with my Monday morning manna, but I had to do it. I had to bring it to y'all. Look, welcome back to the channel, subscribers, family, and friends. Man, look, something I talked about yesterday, and I said I was going to have to tell y'all about it. Elijah, 1 Kings chapter 17, tells King Ahab, a famine is coming. Famine is when it dries up, right? No food, no water, no nothing. God immediately comes to Elijah, says, look, go by the brook, east of the Jordan, over by the brook, Cherith, live there. I got some ravens that go feed you bread and meat day and night. So the Lord took care of Elijah during a famine. But then verse 7 says, but then the brook dried up. In other words, the provision that God had made for Elijah was not producing anymore because the famine in the land had begun to take over. So look, first thing, when your brook dries up, because brook is metaphorical for any challenges and crises and circumstances we suddenly find ourselves in, right? If you've been living longer than a day, at some point or another, your brook dried up before. So look at what happens. When your brook dries up, the first thing you ought to do is to listen for God's instructions. God say, look, get up at once, go to Zarephath, got a widow there that will supply you with food. Listen for God's instruction. Immediately when the brook dries up, God comes to Elijah and gives him directions on what to do next. That's a word for somebody right there. When your brook dries up, in other words, dump truckers, I'm going to go business first. When the work dries up, opportunities seem to dry up, the job ran out, ain't nobody calling you, you don't know what to do. Do like Elijah. When the brook dries up, listen for God's instructions. Because here it is, you need to post this. Listen for God's instructions. And watch this, many times you listen with your eyes and not just your ears. Talk, boy. What do you mean, Jones? You listen with your eyes in that you see what God is doing around you and for you. A lot of times we're listening for a voice or a small still voice or for somebody to come and confirm something with us. No, sometimes he's doing it all the time. But because we're in distress, we're discouraged, we're downtrodden, we don't see what he's doing all the time. Here it is, posted. Sometimes he has to make us uncomfortable to push us into our purpose. All right, so when your brook dries up, listen for God's instructions. But secondly, I'm going to leave y'all alone. Follow God's instructions. The text says, after God told him to go to Zarephath, it says, he went. I'm all in the Bible, y'all. Y'all read around verse 9 and 10 and 11, 1 Kings 17. The text says he went. And when he went and got by the city gate, saw a widow picking up fire sticks, getting ready to build a fire, evidently. And he told her, say, look, bring me a glass of water. And then as she went, he told her, look, go ahead and bring me some bread in your hand too. Follow God's instructions. By doing that, it positioned Elijah to get what he needed, to get what God said he's going to provide. He had to leave where he was, where the brook had dried up, and to go to a place where the needs were going to be met. Watch this. You do your cultural background. I am a Bible scholar, y'all. I am a theologian. I do have this doctorate degree in 21st century leadership. Look, when you do your background study, you discover widows are supposed to be poor, right? God, what are you doing? My brook is dried over here. You want me to go somewhere where a widow, somebody that's poor, normally in that culture, somebody normally need to take care of the widows. But now you're going to take care of me through somebody that's normally being taken care of, needs somebody to take care of them? Talk, boy. Oh my God. I shouted yesterday on this. And so, follow God's instructions when your brook dries up. He's making provision all the time. Sometimes we just don't see it because we're distracted and we're depressed. That's what we talked about yesterday. What to do when your brook dries up. Now y'all got it now. Monday morning manna, y'all got it now. Listen for God's instructions. But then follow God's instructions. I'm getting it in, y'all. Dallas, Texas. I'm in your town all the way to Thursday. Holla at your boy.